There are 12 things builders used to put in every ordinary house, and they quietly stopped. Not decoration. Every one of them solved a real problem, and the problem never went away. They just got expensive to build, so they got value engineered out, and now buyers walk into a 100-year-old house, feel something they can't name, and pay more for it. I'm Sarah. I spent 20 years on the closing side of real estate, in title and escrow, at the table where these deals actually get signed. Stay with me through all 12, because the one buyers react to hardest isn't the pretty one. It's number 5, and most people can't even see it. Let's get into it. Number 1, the deep covered front porch. Here's what most people don't realize. A porch isn't a style, it's a measurement. Go stand on yours right now and pace it out. Under about 6 feet deep, you can't fit 2 chairs and a small table with room to walk past, so nobody sits there. Ever. It becomes a place you unlock the door. At 8 feet, the whole thing changes. Now it's a room. Pre-war builders ran 8 feet as a matter of course, because before air conditioning, that porch was where you went in July. Here's why this matters at the closing table. An appraiser treats a covered porch as outdoor living area, and it shows up in the comparison against other houses. A bare concrete stoop doesn't. Same front door, same house, completely different line on the report, and builders didn't remove it because buyers stopped wanting it. They removed it because a porch is a second roof, with its own framing, its own columns, its own foundation. It's one of the most expensive square feet on the whole plan. Go measure your porch. If it's under 6 feet deep, you don't have a porch. You have a landing. Number 2, transom windows. That little window above an interior door. You've seen them in old houses and probably never thought about them once. They did 2 jobs. A hallway in the middle of a house has no exterior wall, so it has no daylight, and a transom borrows light from the rooms on either side. And with the door shut, warm air still moves through the opening, which mattered enormously when your entire cooling system was a window and a prayer. Here's what killed them. A transom needs a wall tall enough to hold a door and a window stacked on top of each other. That's a 9 or 10-foot ceiling. Standard now is 8. You physically cannot fit one. So we traded daylight and airflow for 2 feet of framing lumber. If you're renovating and you've got the ceiling height, put one over the door to a dark interior room. It's a small job and it changes how the whole hallway reads. Number 3, the walk-in pantry. This one's a comeback, and it's worth understanding why it left. Open plan happened. Everybody wanted sightlines, so walls came down, and the first wall to go was the one making the pantry. Cabinets replaced it, and cabinets hold maybe a third of what a walk-in holds. Here's what I watched happen at showings for years. Buyers open the pantry door. If there's a room behind it, they say something out loud. If there's a cabinet, they say nothing and keep walking. In the National Buyer Preference Surveys, a walk-in pantry sits near the top of the kitchen list year after year. It's one of the very few storage features people name without being prompted. And here's the part that's easy to miss. A pantry doesn't just hold more. It takes the mess off your counters. Buyers don't consciously think, great storage. They think the kitchen feels big. It isn't big. It's just empty, because everything that would have been sitting out is behind a door. Small thing worth knowing. You don't always need to build one. A coat closet backing onto a kitchen wall can often become a pantry for the cost of a doorway and some shelving. I've watched people spend $40,000 on a kitchen and never once consider it. Go look at your floor plan for a closet on a kitchen wall. That's your pantry. Number 4, the whole house attic fan. Big fan in the ceiling of your top floor hallway. You open the windows, you switch it on, and it pulls the air out of every room in the house and pushes it out through the attic. On a summer evening when it's cooler outside than in, it'll change the air in the whole house in a few minutes. The Department of Energy still recommends them in climates that cool off at night, and they use a fraction of the electricity an air conditioner does. Central air is what killed them. Once every house had it, the fan looked like a redundant hole in the ceiling, and builders quit roughing them in. One catch, and it's the reason some of them disappoint. The fan needs somewhere to push the air. If the attic venting is undersized, it fights itself and moves almost nothing. If your evenings drop below your thermostat setting, price a whole house fan before you price a new air conditioner. Now, I want to say something here, because a list like this can start to sound like an instruction. If you're staying in your house, none of this is an obligation. Build for the way you actually live. If you never sit on a porch, don't go add one for a buyer who might show up in 15 years. This list is for the moment you're deciding what to keep, what to add, and what a house is worth when somebody else is finally paying for it. Hey, if you like videos like this, I do this every single week. Subscribe to the channel, and let's get right back into it. Number 5. Solid core doors and plaster walls. This is the one. Take the interior door in the room you're in and knock on it. If it sounds like a drum, it's hollow core. That's a cardboard honeycomb between two skins about 1/8 of an inch thick. It's a room divider with a handle on it. A solid core door is dense all the way through. Plaster over lath is dense too, and it's continuous, with no seams and no hollow cavity behind the finish. Here's why I said buyers react to this one hardest. They walk into an old house and say it feels solid. They say it feels quiet. They say the new house felt cheap, and then they can't tell you why, because nobody looks at a wall and thinks about mass. They just hear the difference and price it in. Here's the math. Swapping the doors on a few key rooms, a primary bedroom, a bathroom, an office, is a few $100s each, including the hardware. Rebuilding a house's acoustics after the fact is not a project you want. Replace the bedroom and bathroom doors first. That's where quiet is worth something. We're halfway. You've got the porch, the transom, the pantry, the fan, and the doors. Now I want to get into the two that quietly buy you square footage, and then I'm going to run through the last 5 fast. Number 6. Built-in cabinetry. Bookcases flanking a fireplace, a window seat with a lid that lifts, a built-in buffet in the dining room. Here's the trick that makes them worth more than the furniture they replace. A built-in lives in the thickness of the wall, or in a corner nobody could furnish anyway. It gives you storage that costs you almost no floor area. A freestanding bookcase eats 1.5 feet of the room, forever. Do that in 4 rooms and you've handed back the better part of a small bedroom. There's a second thing going on, and it's the reason built-ins photograph so well. They read as permanent. A buyer walking through can't picture your bookcase leaving, because it isn't leaving. It's part of the house, so they price the house with it in. They vanished because site-built millwork is slow. And on a production schedule, slow is the same word as expensive. A carpenter on site 3 days doesn't fit a calendar counted in weeks. If you've got an awkward alcove or a wall beside a chimney breast, that's where a built-in goes. Get a quote before you buy furniture for it. Number 7. The real mudroom. Not 3 hooks screwed to a hallway wall. A room, a bench you can sit on to take boots off, hooks above it, a floor that doesn't care about snow, and a door that closes so the mess stays in there. The buyer surveys put dedicated laundry and mudroom-style storage near the very top of the whole list, above things people assume matter more. Because it's the difference between the house absorbing daily life and the house displaying it in the entryway. And I know what some of you are thinking, because I hear it constantly. That's just a hallway with better furniture. It isn't. The door is the feature. Without a door, you don't have a mudroom, you've got a pile of coats that everybody who walks in has to look at. Here's the math. A bench, hooks, and a durable floor in a space you already own runs a few $100s in materials if you're handy. Maybe a couple of $1,000 done for you. The alternative is every buyer forming their first impression of your house while standing in your family's shoes. If you've got a laundry room with a door on it, you're 1 bench away from a mudroom. Build the bench. All right, speed round. 5 more. Fast. Number 8. The milk door. A small, insulated hatch beside the front door that opened from both sides. Built for the milkman, and it's about to be useful again, because right now your packages sit on the step. Number 9. The Dutch door. Splits in the middle, top half open for air and a sightline, bottom half shut for kids and dogs. Number 10. The screened sleeping porch. An outdoor room with screens on it. In mosquito country, it's the difference between using your yard 4 months a year and 8. Number 11. Pocket doors. A door that slides into the wall costs you 0 swing clearance. In a small bathroom or a tight hallway that's not a detail, that's the entire layout. And number 12. Real shutters. On hinges, sized to actually cover the window. The screwed-on decorative pair is half the width of the glass, and everybody can see it. Let's bring this together. 12 things. The deep porch, the transom, the walk-in pantry, the attic fan, solid doors and plaster, built-ins, the mudroom, the milk door, the Dutch door, the sleeping porch, pocket doors, and real shutters. Every one of them has the same thing in common. Not one was decoration. Each one solved a physical problem, and then it got removed for cost, not because the problem was solved some other way. The heat, the noise, the storage, the mess at the back door, all of it is still there. The house just stopped helping you with it. So when you walk an older house and it feels better than a new one, and you can't say why, that's what you're feeling. Somebody built it for the problems, not the photographs. Go pick one. The doors are the cheapest, the porch is the biggest, and the pantry is the one a buyer will say out loud. If you want to know what a new build gets wrong before you ever sign for one, I cover exactly that in the video right here.